guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got a very special guest with us today. Her name is Heaven, and we actually met, what was it?
I think it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Around this same day. It was really random. But since then I've just been following her journey, and she's doing amazing things. So I'm really excited to have her here, and for all of you guys to get to know her and also to hear about her story and learn so much, because there is loads you can learn. Okay, so Heaven, I think we're going to start with who are you for all the viewers, and where are you from, and what are you doing right now?
Okay, I guess where I start. Well, my background is I'm a pharmacist, so I studied here in Sweden at Uppsala University. So that's my background, what I do. But during the studies, I started an NGO. It's called the Bambino Project. It wasn't supposed to be an NGO like this. I just want to do one thing, one time, to do some impact in the world. So I went to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, with my father, and and when I saw the condition of the children there, I just couldn't do it just once. So just that started something within me, because normally when you travel with your parents, they will show you the best of the best. Even if we have some guests come here to Stockholm, we will not show them the worst thing you can see here. You will show them the beautiful places and the water and Gröna Lund and everything like that. But this time with my father, he showed me the absolutely worst. He showed me the children of the homeless. They didn't have any parents. They were not fortunate. So that's why I started the Bambino Project, the NGO. And I got some scholarship, and I had my own money to make it happen. But then trying to engage people, trying to make people care enough and donate their money or time is very hard and difficult, and it takes a lot of time. And during the studies, I couldn't take that, and I didn't want to abandon the children either. So then I started to invest, so I could take the investment returns back to NGO. So we've never been dependent on donations, even if you can donate both time or money. We do even accept crypto, but we are not dependent on it, just because we started to invest in African startups, and we take the investment returns back to the NGO.
Oh, that's really smart. That's really like a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, now it's very popular talking about social enterprise, how they can do that. But this was the start in 2012.
Okay. So I guess like there you kind of explained why you started your own business, because I've heard from a lot of the women I've interviewed that they start for different reasons, but you really saw a need and you wanted to kind of solve that, and then you
I was just tired of begging for money. I was just tired of making people engage.
We all know that struggle.
And care enough. It was just, and even if you get scholarship, just a couple $1,000s, you still have to do so much more in return. It's like you have to be the ambassador. You have to hold all these talks. You have to write the report. It shifts your focus on what you actually want to do to just promote their stuff.
Okay.
So I was just really sick of it.
Yeah.
And I had a mission. I wanted to pay full healthcare for 500,000 children. I know it's a lot,
but you need to aim high. Why not?
And we have, we are far away from it. For now, we pay full healthcare for 1,453 children.
But that's impressive.
Yes, it is. But it's when I start to talk about it, because you're so in the process of just making it happen every month, and for people, when I talk to people about it, they're like, "Oh, that's very impressive. That's so cool." But in my mind, it's just, I'm not there yet. I'm not doing enough yet. And my stress is because I send a container every month. It's like, I hope the ocean will not, the weather will be good enough so the container can arrive safely. There are all these stress moments that I think people don't see. Okay. So, but of course, it's a success in that. But yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, because one of the options that you could have had when you went there and you saw the need was that you could have probably like donated to Save the Children or any of the organizations that were already existing. But what was it that made you decide that I'm gonna start my own business? I'm actually gonna run a proper business from it and make it a social business, so that you're not depending on people's donations.
Yeah, I was in a really bad bad accident, a car accident with my sister back in 2007. And my sister is very Americanized. She's like, I'm gonna sue there, and a lot of words with beep beep. And she did. And what I didn't know that I was a part of an insurance, so I got a lot of money to start off with, and I felt so blessed and so thankful because I was just 18 and I was finally in my head free from my parents. And I'm gonna flew all over the world, and I had worked so hard to get that done. And just the first visit I did was my sister back in the United States, and I was just there 1 week because she was expecting her second child. And in the just 1 week in my freedom, the car accident, it was really, really bad. I got the car seat belt, like, I don't know, are you guys sensitive? Yeah, I was really, I had a lot of wounds all over my body, and I had a rehab for a full month.
Wow.
So I was so thankful for having everything intact. So when I got the money, I was like, I really need to give this back. And as you said, there are a lot of huge organizations that you can just donate to and be like, thank you, God. But the trust issues I have with them was not enough. I really wanted to make like every dollar I got has to go to a children. I didn't want to pay anything for administration. So I just Googled, like, how do you start a project in 2010? So it took me like a full year to actually make it happen. And I went to Addis in November 2011. And my plan was to be there for 6 months. But then I got pregnant with my first child. So the 6 months plan went to 1 month. So that's what happened. Quick. Yeah, I was so stressed. I didn't see anything of the country. I was just wanted to see the children, to the hospital, and make that happen, and I just went back to Sweden.
Wow,
so I just wanted to make sure that every dollar went to the children and not to any administration.
That was like your biggest motivator.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking in terms of that, obviously you've started your business, and for some people, like if you follow Heaven on Instagram, you'll see that she's really, really inspiring, and that you'll see that she's doing so many things. Like you're part of different organizations, you're helping out in different ways, and you're traveling globally to do all these different things. And I think a lot of people can see you as that, oh, she's really successful, which you obviously are. But I think a lot of people, and I remember you talking about this, they don't see what's happening behind the scenes. They don't see all the things that you've been through and all the things that you've actually done to get there. So I want to talk a bit more about that. Like, what is the actual reality? Because I don't want to give people the false view that entrepreneurship is really easy. Like, one day, 2010, you had the accident and then you wanted to do this. And then a few years after, you're building this massive company. Like, what is the actual reality? And, like, what has been your greatest struggles during these years?
I think it's a good point that you actually brought it up, because as you know, it's just recently I've been more open with what I've been doing, because I was afraid to give people, especially young people, this false image that everything is simple. But I got encouraged with a friend of mine, and she said, like, you should really show because you're very inspiring. It's like, okay, let's try it. So just in January, I just try to be more transparent, and actually it's hard to show everything. You don't want to show everything because I don't have anyone following me around. So sometimes I forget when I sit there at 10 p.m. having a Skype meeting with one of the pharmacists, or Skype meeting with the children or other entrepreneur, because I'm trying to do it as much as possible. I think the stories is easier than the post. But it's hard. I think people today is very, I don't know if it's the right word, but very fixated to have like quick fixes. You want instant gratification. And if you don't love the process, this road is not for you. Because I've been thinking and trying to explore myself and what I can do and my strengths since I was like 14 years old, and I'm 30 this year. So that's half my life, you know. And I've always been thinking. I always question my behavior. I always question the world. I'm trying to. There's a lot of things that started and ended, in so many different levels. So there's no quick fix. Every quick fix is maybe like 15 years of hard work, and the consistency is really the key. Because even it's not like, oh, I'm not in the mood today to have this Skype meeting. No, you have to have the mood today. Even if you have your PMS and you just want to like scream at everyone, you still have to manage yourself to even have that Skype meeting and make it productive.
Yeah.
So it's not that you have to go all in, but I think like I always do something every day. Some days I feel more happy, more motivated. So I can maybe probably work on my own business like 3-4 hours without even thinking it. But I also have 2 kids, so they are demanding time too, and sometimes they don't listen, and sometimes they do. You know, so I have to be very flexible. So sometimes I just maybe have 5 minutes to do something, to send just an email, and that's all I've been doing the entire day, and that's okay. I think people are so hard on themselves. But quick fixes, you forget it. There are no quick fixes in this.
You have to go through everything.
Yeah, you have to really love the process. You really have to love the ups and the downs, because I don't think you are able to make it happen. It doesn't matter. For success for me is very different depending on who you're talking to. So yeah, consistency is a key. You still have to go to the gym if you want to have these muscles, even if it's like, oh, I don't feel for it. It's like you still have to do it.
I feel like that's the key to any success. Like if you study athletes, like they're not going to be running for 1 hour and then they're going to be super fast. And even if you look at CEOs or whatever it is
slow
you're
progress.
doing, it really is a slow progress. And I'm the kind of person that I'm really impatient. So I'm like, okay. But I think it's good when you say that you have to take little by little, that it's fine to do one thing today. And maybe tomorrow you don't feel like, okay, I can't do everything. But then maybe a week from now you could do 10 things instead, and not to be too hard on yourself.
And that consistency will pay off. It will pay off. One thing I was thinking about was, I know that's not always good. I was thinking about it in the Instagram. I was, I started to be more transparent. And my fear was that I would show that people wouldn't, because they comment like, oh, you're a superwoman, a super businesswoman, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm trying to show you all the different perspectives. And I would remember I have a lot of young followers, like between 20 and 25, and there were one of them that was like, oh my God, Heaven, I really want your life. And I was like,
do you really?
No, I felt so horrible, so I really had to make it a full post about it. You don't want my life, you just want to have the courage to create your own life, and that's not easy, because I have relatives. It was times I had like 3 years I didn't have contact with my parents because I chose to go a different way, a different path than they was approving. And the same as I just separated for like 2 years, so it's the same there. I want a different path, and to make that decision and stay true to yourself is the hardest part you will ever do, and you will do it so many times, and it's devastating, but still have to believe in yourself so much that you're doing the right thing. And that's in the business too. You will have to say no to so many people, but also a lot of new people you will meet that are like-minded, that will encourage you, but you will not meet them until you erase that. So it's very hard. It's very hard to show that, but I hope people understand. If you don't love the process, it's no idea.
And I guess also it's going to be like one day you're going to love the process, the other day you're going to hate it. But at the same time, as long as you know that it is a process, like it's not going to be 1 day, it's not going to be 2 days, it's not going to be a year even. It's going to be a full process, and you're going to have to go through everything literally to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and if you study like human psychology and you see that human behavior, to change a behavior in one direction, you have to do something every day to question that in 90 days, and that's not easy to do. So I started meditation very young, and I think that have been following me through all these years. That helps me focus and not take in all the people's negativity or whatever it can be. It can just be myself. It can be all my negative thoughts. It doesn't have to be someone else's.
That's true.
And still have to recharge yourself and see, okay, this is the path I'm going. Stick to it and just keep walking.
Regardless.
It's a better day tomorrow. Okay, the last container. Okay, I'll only send a new one. It's gonna be a better day tomorrow. So yeah, just loving the process, because it's not hard, and I don't think this is for anyone, for everyone either. It's for a few people, of course, but I don't think it's for everyone.
And one of the things is that I think one of the things that I find really inspiring with you is the fact that you touched on it now as well. It's the fact that you have kids and you recently separated, which obviously is a hard process, but you still do your business and you have a job as well. It sounds like you're doing so much, but at the same time, I get the feeling that you still manage to have some form of work-life balance. So I want to talk a bit more about that. Like, how do you manage to do all these things, or do you have some form of like process in terms of how you manage everything?
Yeah, I again, I think it's hard. I don't manage everything perfectly. I wish I did. But sometimes I'm late with the laundry, and sometimes my home is not spot free, but I prioritize what is important for me, and I have to sometimes. I think it was some day here for last week. It was GDPR.
Yeah.
And it was just a beautiful weather, and everyone was having ice cream, but I had to stay
and
home.
you're home like
and I was staying home and trying to make this GDPR, this new European law, and that's what you have to do. You have to prioritize what's the most important, and hopefully it will be another sunny day tomorrow, so you can enjoy it. You never know. But that's the choices you have to do. So okay, I'm a little bit late with the laundry, but that's okay. So I think just being kind to myself, that I don't have to manage everything in the same day, every single day. So, and the same do I do in business, a little bit. So I think that's the point. I don't manage everything
at once.
Perfect. At once. All the time. Like, I'm still human, and I still cry, and I still feel sometimes devastated, and sometimes I feel extremely happy. So, and I think just accepting that you have all this emotion is okay. It's actually so okay. And I think meditation has helped me a lot, because it will just make my mind at ease.
And I'm at the belief that I really believe that your relationships and the people around you can make such a huge difference on like you and your success, and I think that's the same for like if you're studying, if you're working, regardless of what you're doing, not just running your own business. So I want to talk a bit more about like in terms of like your view of relationships and like the people that you've had around you, because I see successful people in my eyes, and I see that they have like a whole squad. They have people around them, whether it's people working for them or it's people supporting them. They still have people around them, like good relationships that are helping them to get to where they want to be. So like, what have been your key relationships, and like what people in your life can you say they're attributing to my success somehow?
That's a hard question, because when you started, I had none. It was just me, and there were times, I remember this one time, and this was way back when in the university, and you always have this huge like gang group, and there was always someone who's more my leader type than the other. We all have like different roles, and this was one person had a more leader role, and I didn't. And it was just one day I was like, I don't feel that it was good for me. I thought it was very negative. I started to think differently, and not in the terms I wanted. So I talked to that person, and I said like, we need to like change and discuss our relationship, because I don't feel like this is working for me. And this person totally said, no, you are the problem. Yeah, so this is the university time. We got young almost
drama.
The drama. But it was very important to me, because I felt like I was thinking through someone else's head and not from my own self. So I said, okay, but then we cannot be friends. So in my head, okay, I cannot be friends with you, but I can be friends with other ones. But because that person was a leader type and took the strong leader role, I sat an entire year by myself.
No.
Why? But I don't regret it at all, because doing so and being true to myself, but I don't think this is a good way to act or react. I started to meet new people. New people started to sit with me like, oh, why are you sitting here by yourself? And if I didn't, it was true to myself. So of course there are a lot of people that be supportive, and some people come in and out, and some people come in and they will stay with you forever. I have my best friend, she's also the godmother to my 2 children. We've been friends 20 years. Of course she's the most supporting friend ever. I know her since I was 10 years old. But other people's come and go, and some people coming later in life and they will stay. So I think it's okay to let relationship be like that, because I think in the most crucial point is the relationship you have with yourself.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot. As I said, it was times when I didn't even have a relationship with my own parents for 3 years. But after 3 years now, it's like the strongest relationship I know.
Yeah.
And that came late in life. I was like in 25 plus when that relationship started to grow in what it is now. So just be allowed to see. But the most crucial relationship I take care of very well is the relationship I have with myself. To be kind to myself and keep encouraging myself.
Yeah. Because, I guess you're right in that sense, because you're not always going to have the people around you. Like, what if you're sitting in that room on your own and everything's happening? And it's not every time that you can actually express what you're feeling.
Of course.
Like, I know for myself as well that sometimes when you're going through stuff with your business, because you're your own boss and you're doing your own thing, it's hard to express that thing. And it's hard for someone else, for your partner, to even understand the importance of this. And it could be a minor thing, but for you it's such a big thing. So I totally agree with like,
and we see it all the time, like people earning $1 billion. What's that woman's name? She was in the retail woman, God, I forgot her name. She took a suicide just a couple of days ago.
Kate Spade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see, she was in so many people's eyes successful. That's and true. She did everything right by the book or whatever, but she took her life. So the relationship to yourself and taking care of yourself, especially mental health, is so much important. And I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was like, oh, you will put the children first. I was like, I will never put them first. And I know some of you will now like kill me. I've been there before. You can say it all. I've heard it before, because I really believe like taking care of myself first will make me a better partner, a better woman, a better mother. Because I grew up and I was thinking my mom had a depression when I was 9 for 2 years. And seeing that as a child is devastating. So I know what's the consequences is when you don't take care of yourself. So I know people's like, oh, why are you doing that? You should put the baby first. I have had this discussion with so many people. But I will not, I say so true to it. Like, if you don't take care of yourself, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Money doesn't matter. Even your children can find some other parents, or even if they don't have that blood band, they will probably find others adults that will inspire them more or take care of them better. So if you don't take care of yourself, I think it's a crucial point.
But I think it also goes back to the understanding what your why is, because if you don't know yourself and you don't know why you're doing the things you do, as you're saying, like a lot of people might criticize you for those choices, but at the same time it's your choice.
Yes.
And that's something you're comfortable with. But if you're not, of course you're going to have issues, and you're going to start listening, and you're going to be wavering and all that kind of stuff. So as long as you know your why and what you're doing, I think it all kind of starts to make sense somehow. And all these like downfalls and all the things that happen in your life, it makes so much more sense somehow. All right, thank you so much, Evan, for sharing your journey and really being open to us about how it is to really run a business and just juggling all the amazing things that you're doing. I'm sure you're going to be doing.
Well, thank you for having me.
Really
it's been
good
awesome
things.
to see your growth this past 3 years.
Thank you. Can't wait for people to follow you and see where you end up as well in the future.
Yeah.
But I thought that we're going to end this interview with 5 short questions.
Okay.
Just to get ready.
I'm ready.
And give them the final advice. Okay. So the first question is, what did you dream of becoming when you were young?
A medical scientist.
Not far from.
No, not really.
And what is the worst advice you've ever been given?
Not saving to myself.
Okay.
Yeah. As I was in a relationship very early, and people was like, oh, then you will have the same
shared
economy. I was like, yeah, of course we're gonna have that, but I'll still have my own savings.
That's important. Yeah.
You need to have a fuck off budget. You have to beat that.
Okay, and what advice would you give anyone wanting to start their own business now?
Just start.
Just do it.
Because I think a lot of people talk too much and overthinking. Just start.
Action. Put your money where your mouth is.
Exactly.
And if you had no limitations in the world, what would your business and your life look like?
I think it will be the same in philanthropy. If I knew that was an option in the early years, I would probably be doing more of that first than because that came later in life. Yeah, like when I was 22. If I knew that, I would probably start when I was 10.
Have your own charity.
Yes.
Your social business.
Yes.
I love that. And the last thing is, what is your number one life hack? Could be anything.
Well, I love ships. And I love camping, so I don't have time to carry. I'm not that strong that I can carry a lot of people, like a lot of things, and two little people with me. And we all love chips. So what I do is when I open it, I change the bottom structure so it can actually stand by itself.
Ah, okay, smart. For all of you crisp lovers out there, make sure you do this. We can try. I'll get her to film for you a little tutorial. Yeah. Or you should do it on Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know. But because I didn't know, because yesterday we were at the Mosquito Beach party with other parents and with their kids, and I did that, and everyone was like, "What? You made it stand?" So I was like, "What?
So cool.
Don't everyone do like this?" Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. And those were the 5 questions I had.
Yay.
And thank you so much for coming and for taking your time out.
Of course.
And obviously for all of you guys, if they want to follow you and follow your journey, which I highly recommend, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's just my name, Heaven Bereket. And on Twitter, I'm trying to set the YouTube, but we'll see. It's coming. But Instagram, I'm more active there.
Yeah, perfect. And obviously if you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. And send me an email. I'll send all the details. Send us an email. Talk to us on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want, and we'll keep the conversation live.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.